we have moved outside to my swimming pool area with a familiar face, Melanie Denon from Las Vegas Fire and Rescue.
Hi.
And we are here to talk about water safety.
Yes. Yeah, with it heating up now in the valley, a lot more people are going to be seeking relief in bodies of water like swimming pools or the lake. So it's important to talk about the ABCDs of drowning prevention. Last year in Clark County, we had 26 submersion incidents and 21 of them were under 14. And our fatalities due to these incidents is up 10% over the last 10 years.
That's amazing.
So we really need to talk about some simple basic things that we can do to prevent drowning deaths.
Well, let's get started with A.
A is adult supervision. So somebody needs to always be watching your pool. You need to have a water watcher, kind of like a designated driver. You have somebody who's not on their electronics, somebody who's not partaking in alcohol, and they kind of watch over the pool and just watch people in the pool.
Okay.
Adult supervision is number one.
Okay. Then barriers, we know what that is, but let's
B
go over.
is barriers and buddies. So you should have a safety fence around your pool or gate around your pool if you do have small children that are young, and you should always have a buddy. Never swim alone. That way, if anything should happen, there's always somebody with you who can help.
And I actually have the barrier as well. I don't have children, but I have dogs, and my dog actually fell in the pool once. We keep it closed when we're not here.
Yes.
So what is C?
C is classes.
Okay.
So parents should take CPR and rescue technique classes, and also make sure that your children take swimming lessons. But be advised, swimming lessons do not make them drown proof. You still need to watch them, and you still need to have barriers.
And that kind of takes us to D a little bit. Yes.
Yes. D is
Flotation devices.
Flotation devices. So you need to have a personal flotation device, you know, something like a safety ring that you can throw. Poles are really good, so you can put it in the pool and they can grab it and you can pull them out.
Okay.
So, but parents need to be aware that pool toys are not personal flotation devices. They will not prevent drowning.
Right.
They're fun to play on, but they won't keep a young child from drowning. The same with water wings. They give a young child a false sense of security when they're learning to swim. If you have a child that needs water wings, you should get them it's a life jacket that wraps around their chest with water wings made out of foam and not the inflatable kind. No inflatable devices are authorized for children under the age of 16 as a personal flotation device, period.
That's good to know. Well, we talk about pool safety every year, but as you just said, the statistics show we need to keep talking about it. But there's another large body of water where people go when it gets hot, and that is Lake Mead.
Yes.
So shall we head over there?
Yes, sounds
All right,
good.
let's go. All right, Melanie, if only it was this quick all the time to get out to the lake, right?
Yes.
We've got a lot to cover, right? There's a different set of rules here?
Yeah, at the lake there's a lot of different set of rules that a lot of people don't realize. The first thing is life jackets.
Right, let's talk about life jackets,
Yeah.
not just for adults.
Yes, you need life jackets. If you're going to be on the lake, you need life jackets for children as well as pets. Pets can fall overboard. Per the Nevada revised statute, the state law, all vessels must have a life jacket for every person on the boat, and they also have to have a life jacket. Everybody under the age of 13 must be wearing a life jacket at all times.
And proper fitting.
And proper fitting too, yes. A life jacket that is too large, a child will slip right out of it when they fall in the water and they can drown.
And people don't think about their pets, but they can fall in.
Yes, pets fall in all the time, and you want to have your pet also tethered to your vessel, whether it's a kayak, a boat, a jet ski, because if they fall off, you can pull them back with the leash. If you're on the river, they'll fall in and they'll go down river really quickly and you won't be able to get them back, or they can go under your vessel and be killed.
Okay, all right, so watch out for your pets too, and your kids. Let's talk about the water level and what's beneath, especially since the water level out here at Lake Mead has dropped so drastically. People who think they know the lake from years ago maybe don't.
Yeah.
So what's under the surface for people to look
So
at?
right now under the surface, there's a lot of stuff, trees, there's boulders, there's small islands that used to be 30 to 60 feet under the water, and now they're 15 to 10 feet. They're extremely shallow. Another thing to be aware of, especially in the coves, all along Lake Mead and Mojave, is these are really huge for scuba divers in the desert. The way they can dive is at the lake. So they need to be aware that in every cove, there's going to be scuba divers under the water.
Okay.
If you see a dive flag, it's red with a white stripe. Just know that there's not just one diver under there. There's up to 15 or 20 people, depending on if they're putting on a class. So they're going to be spread out under the water. You will not see them. So when you come into coves, you need to go extremely slow. You need to look for those dive flags. And another thing that's really good to have is a depth finder, especially with everything so shallow now. You don't want to crash your boat in the middle of the lake and sink because you hit a tree or a boulder that you wasn't there 5 years ago.
Right, right. Okay.
Yes.
And also you were talking about really being aware of everyone's surroundings and everyone that's with you. And not
Yes.
too long ago, unfortunately, we lost a 6-year-old girl.
Yeah, less than 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
She was on a raft, her and a family member, another child, and the wind kicked up. The wind always kicks up in the afternoon at the lake, and they were pushed out towards the middle of the lake. Adults went out to try and rescue them, and they had to be rescued themselves. So it's kind of like having a designated driver. You need a designated water watcher.
Right.
You know, especially if you're camping and cooking and drinking on the shore, somebody needs to be watching every person, whether it's a child or an adult, kind of like a lifeguard.
All right. And speaking of drinking.
Yes. Especially with the heat.
Yes.
The heat dehydrates you, alcohol dehydrates you, and it's just you'll get a DUI if you are operating a vessel while you're intoxicated, the same as if it's a car on the road.
Gotcha.
So drinking and boating just does not mix. It
Right.
dehydrates you, you get intoxicated faster because of the heat and the dehydration, and then you put everybody on your vessel at risk.
Okay, you know, and Melanie and I are not trying to scare people or take all the fun out of it, but if you don't follow these rules, a
Yes.
fun day out on the lake or at the pool
Yes.
can turn into a tragedy. So,
We have too many drownings every year on
Yeah.
the lake that can be completely avoided.
is there a resource people can turn to, a website, anything
Yes.
like that?
There's a couple websites. The Department of Wildlife has some great boating and water safety tips along with the current boating laws. So you want to go to ndow.org/boat. And also the National Park Service has really great resources for places to boat, really good places on Lake Mead and Lake Mojave, along with some really good safety information.
Okay, great. Thanks, Melanie. As always, she's my co-host when it comes to all the safety stuff. So thank you so much.